Hello! Today during our class session, we are going to go over another example where we have to ensure that the fractions have a common denominator. However, in today's lesson, I am going to demonstrate an alternative method for finding a common denominator when working with fractions. When dealing with these tasks, gentlemen, you have the freedom to utilize any methods you prefer. The most important thing is for you to get the same denominator. That's why I'm telling you about different ways. You can choose the one that will be convenient for you. Today we're going to break down the following fractions together. And here's an example. I need to find a common denominator for the fractions 5.21 and 2.35. First and 2/35 to the common denominator. I ain't going to use that algorithm we used together. Today I'm going to tell you about another algorithm. What is it made of? The thing is, I will have to break down the denominators into their prime factors in order to solve the problem. What am I talking about? The number 21 is 7 times 3. 7 times 3 equals 21. Is that correct? So 3 equals 21, am I correct? Certainly it is. And 35. What is the deal with 35? This is a calculation of 7 multiplied by 5. So I am wondering what actions I can take based on this result. I will write the initial fraction 5.21 as the division of 5 by 7 multiplied by 3 in order to express it in a different form. In this specific case, I will express this fraction as 2 divided by 7 and then multiplied by 5 in order to calculate the final result accurately. So what did we ultimately end up with? The matter is, our denominator is written in the form of a multiplier. At this point in time, I need to locate the common factor. I am not going to multiply. I am not going to perform the mathematical calculations like I did previously when finding the least common multiple. I am going to do it in a slightly different way now. Take a look. So what am I going to do now? Undoubtedly, for the purpose of my move, I am in need of the least common denominator or the least common multiple. So the least common multiple. For the numbers 21 and for the number 35, we need to find the smallest multiple that is divisible by both. How do you locate it without performing multiplication on these numbers, without tallying in your mind? What am I doing? Attention, I'm wrapping up one fraction and writing. What's my denominator here? 7 times 3. So 7 times 3, like that. And now I conclude this fraction and examine this denominator. This is 7 multiplied by 5. I have to jot down here 7 times 5, but I am not going to write about that because I already got a 7. I am not going to write her down. I will do it one more time. Closing one small fraction, I have a denominator of 7 multiplied by 3. I recorded 7 times 3. Closing this fraction. I possess 7 times 5, but I will not write the number 7 because I already have it written in my possession. I will write only 5. 7 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 5. So it turns out that the denominator, the common denominator, will be 7 times 3 and times 5. Which is equal to 105. And in this case, I will have the denominator 7 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 5. What's so convenient about this method? The thing is, I need to find an extra factor. Write down my clue. And now, please pay attention. It was the result of multiplying 7 by 3, and it became the result of multiplying 7 by 3 and then multiplying by 5. What is absent? High fives are missing. The result of multiplying 7 by 3 was, and the result of multiplying 7 by 3 and then by 5 became. So we're missing this little 5 here, similar to the second fraction with the second denominator. It was 7 multiplied by 5, now it's 7 multiplied by 3 and multiplied by 5. What's missing? We're missing a few 3's. Well, now what am I supposed to do? 5 I multiply by 5, and here I multiply 3 by 2. And now all that's left is to calculate the result. 5 multiplied by 5 is going to be 25. Well, let us go ahead and recalculate the common denominator, shall we? 7 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 equals a total of 105. In this scenario, 3 multiplied by 2 equals 6, and 7 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 equals 105 as well. Hey, please check it out because we have got one thing in common. So we brought these fractions to a common denominator in order to find a common ground. The common denominator is 105. Listen up, guys. I want to make sure you understand that you can use any method to get those fractions to a common denominator. The most crucial aspect in your fractions is to ensure you have a common denominator for all of them so that they are equal and can be easily compared and manipulated in calculations. Sure, you'll handle it. That's a wrap for today's lesson. Goodbye until we meet again.